Today we're going to be making saffron oil, and I'm gonna put the camera down and angle it so that you can see what I'm doing. You will of course make sure that you run this through your dishwasher, disinfect it, any jars that you have or that you buy at the store or get in the mail. Then when the jar dries, I always use sage and whatnot, basil leaves, burn them. I use loose leaf. And I smoke them inside and out. And as you all know by now, I don't do my prayers and my intentions until after my oil has reached the stage to where I'm going to sieve it through a strainer and all the properties have been melded together. That's when I start doing all my intentions and my blessings and that. So let me go ahead and cut away for a moment, and I will pan down and we will start making saffron oil. Okay guys, I have my coffee here. What you're going to need is La Mancha Spanish saffron, and the cheapest place to buy this is if you have a Costco near you or one that you could drive to on occasions. You get this cute little jar. This is the package it came in, and this is how much you get. It is, let's see if they give me an ounce amount on here, and they don't, but it's Kirkland brand. It's called Kirkland La Mancha Spanish Saffron, and you get a couple good pinches. And I think this was $11. Plus you get this cute adorable little jar, which is what I'm going to complete some other spices that I don't use a lot. I'll use this jar for. But for the saffron oil, I'm going to use this because it's airtight and I want it to stay good as long as possible because saffron is very expensive. So you're going to need a jar or a container that's airtight, preferably, or any jar of your choice. You're going to need heated up in the microwave for 30-second intervals until it's pretty hot. You're going to need glycerin. This preserves leaves and flowers, and it's also good for aromatherapy baths. And I'll hold this up there so that you can see that. See if it'll focus. Preserves leaves and flowers. I bought this at Walmart, so you can check that out. It doesn't matter really what brand. When I went to Walmart last week to get more glycerin, this is the brand that they had, and this is what the packaging looks like now. Right here. Whoop. That's what it looks like now at Walmart. Your Walmart may be different than mine. I'm in the Midwest. So it's either going to be, this was their old packaging of glycerin, and it's on the shelves over by the pharmacy area where like you get cough medications and stuff like that. Just go up and down each aisle, look in the Band-Aid and the disinfectant and the rubbing alcohol, those kind of aisles, until you find glycerin. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to dump some of this saffron in here. I'm not going to use all of it because I do use it when I make mushrooms. It's so delicious, but it's so freaking expensive. And get every little tidbit in there that you can. I love this little bottle that came in. It's so sweet. If you buy it at like one of the big chain supermarkets, you don't get this beautiful little jar. You get the saffron in a little cheap, zippy little plastic tiny bag shoved into a plastic vessel, usually. So Kirkland, Costco, and you get a great little bottle that you can use for some other witchy goodness. Okay, so now we're going to use the hot oil. And I don't want to fill it to the rim like I did in past videos because I have to leave room for the glycerin. I'm using olive oil as my carrier. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of glycerin in there. And I want to grab some more olive oil because I want to fill it to the rim. Remember, if it's an expensive item that you're making an oil out of, you want to utilize it as much as you possibly can. So you want to make the very most that you possibly can. Okay, and we'll move this out of the way. Put it on a napkin. Now I always add 1 drop of red food coloring because I like the beautiful color. 1 drop. That's all I put in here. 1 drop. And then we're going to close it up. And I'm not going to say my intentions and my blessings until this is sat for 2 to 3 weeks, shaking it each day or every other day. And I'm just going to let that float around in there. Isn't that gorgeous? Saffron is beautiful, and it just is so beautiful. Look at all that just wonderfulness floating around in there. It's just gorgeous. Beautiful. And that's all there is to it. We're just going to leave it in the hot oil, and it will cool down to room temperature on its own. And then every day thereafter, for 2 to 3 weeks, I'm just going to keep shaking, shaking, shaking. And if I feel like I want it a little bit pinker, I might add 1 more drop. I don't want it dark red. I still want to be able to see the beautifulness of the herb in there. And I do not take saffron out of my oils. I leave them in there. The glycerin will help keep the saffron fresh and not to mold. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful oil. And then I'll use eyedroppers whenever I use it in my magics. Okay guys, that's saffron oil. Let me bring you back up here there we go. So today was saffron oil. And we're just going to keep shaking it and all its goodness. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the sun shining through the gold olive oil. And you see all the little tidbits and particles of the saffron. Oh, I love it. This is one of my favorite oils. I will go grab a book and see if I can find anything in any of the books that list specifically about saffron and the magical uses. Okay guys, I found it. It's A-L-I-V-A. I'm not the world's best pronunciation person. Folk names are autumn crocus, crocus carcum, crocus, concuma, saffron, which is Arabic, and Spanish saffron, which is exactly what we have in today's oil that we made. The gender's masculine, the planet is the sun, the fiery red. The deities are Eros or Astaroth. The powers are love, healing, happiness, wind, raising, lust, strength, and psychic powers. The ritual uses, the Phoenicians baked saffron into crescent-shaped cakes, which they ate in honor of the moon and fertility goddess Astaroth. The magical uses. Saffron is added to love sachets as well as those aimed at rising lustful feelings. So you could use this to do love work and anoint your candles red or pink or white candles. Whoops, let's get back down here. It's used in healing spells, and the infusion is used as wash water for the hands prior to healing rituals. At one time in Persia, or Iran, pregnant women wore a ball of saffron at the pit of the stomach to ensure a speedy delivery. The infusion, drunk, enables you to foresee the future, and simply ingesting saffron dispels melancholy. In fact, one early author warns against eating too much saffron lest one should die of excessive joy. Saffron in the home keeps lizards from venturing in, and wearing A chapelet of saffron will protect you from inebriation and will probably be the subject of a few comments from your friends. Sheets are rinsed with a saffron infusion in Ireland so that the arms and legs would be strengthened during sleep, and the ancient Persians utilized saffron to raise the winds. So that's everything with saffron from this book. And I'm going to see if we have anything listed in this other book, which we may not, because this other book doesn't seem to be as thorough. No. So that's saffron, you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you've used saffron for, if you've had some experience working with it. And I'll see you next video. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Beautiful. Blessings. Thanks for spending time with me. Have a blessed day.